Whoa! I never thought about that!
I am absolutely thrilled to get into this one with you guys. We're looking at something that literally feels like it was ripped straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster, but it's actually 100% documented reality. Today, we're breaking down some of the most baffling, highly scrutinized government footage ever released to the public. We're going to look at exactly what makes these sightings so profoundly mysterious.
Now, I want you to imagine for a second that you're a highly trained military pilot. You've logged thousands of hours in the cockpit of a multi-million-dollar fighter jet, right? You know aerodynamics inside and out. You know exactly what an aircraft can and cannot do. And then, you encounter this object in the sky that just accelerates instantly. It changes direction so sharply it completely defies logic. And the wildest part of the whole shebang? There are absolutely no visible wings or exhaust plumes. It's just moving.
Now, if this were just a movie, you'd pass the popcorn and enjoy the CGI. But this isn't a script. The government actually released this footage publicly. This is reality. It's officially declassified and out there for the world to see. And honestly, that fact alone is what took this whole topic right out of the fringe conspiracy forums and thrust it straight onto the front pages. Okay, let's dive into this. If trained military pilots, literally some of the most reliable, thoroughly vetted observers on the planet, if they can't explain this, then what are these objects? That's the core mystery we're unpacking today. We're going to break down the evidence, the physics, and the grounded scientific theories to try and figure out exactly what it is we're looking at.
Section 1. The rebrand, moving from UFO to UAP.
You know, it's crazy how a simple change in terminology can completely shift the conversation. For decades, we all used the term UFO, right? Unidentified flying object. But let's be real, that acronym carries a ton of pop culture baggage. You instantly think of flying saucers and sci-fi invasions. Enter UAP. Unidentified anomalous phenomena. This semantic shift is absolutely crucial. It's the modern term used by governments and scientists to describe something that was observed but just hasn't been identified yet. By ditching the UFO baggage, it establishes real scientific credibility. It lets experts actually study the raw data seriously without all that cultural stigma attached.
Section 2. The verified military evidence, not just blurry internet clips.
All right, this is where things get incredibly serious. We aren't dealing with some grainy, shaky smartphone video shot through a car windshield here. We are talking about the famous Tic Tac, gimbal, and Go Fast cases. Just think about the sheer level of hardware involved. We've got military aircraft, advanced radar tracking systems, and state-of-the-art infrared targeting cameras that can pick up heat signatures from miles away. And the real kicker, this footage was released or directly confirmed by the U.S. Department of Defense. So we have verified multi-sensor military data confirming these objects were physically right there.
Section 3. Movements that defy physics, investigating the impossible.
So let's talk about how flying actually works. For our tech, human engineering requires wings to generate lift, constant airflow, and a wide turning radius if you want to change direction at high speeds. That's just basic aerodynamics. But these UAPs, according to the highly trained pilots and the sensor data, we're seeing instant acceleration from a dead hover. We're seeing incredibly sharp direction changes without them slowing down at all. It's like they're completely ignoring the aerodynamic rules we rely on every single day to keep our planes in the sky.
And this brilliantly illustrates the propulsion problem. Pretty much every conventional vehicle we build requires pushing against something to move forward, right? Jets push air backward, rockets push burning gas outward. You can always see the exhaust or the mechanical parts doing the work. But these UAPs show absolutely zero visible jet exhaust. No rocket flames, no wings, no rotors, nothing at all. They're moving with this immense, blistering speed, but with no obvious means of generating that propulsion. How on earth does an object push forward without pushing something backward?
Then there's the G-force issue. Extreme G-forces would cause any human to instantly black out. Sudden, massive acceleration creates crushing physical forces. If a human pilot tried to pull off the instant accelerations and sharp turns recorded in these videos, they wouldn't just lose consciousness. The structural limits of their own bodies, not to mention our absolute best fighter jets, would be literally torn apart. Yet, whatever these things are, they seem entirely unaffected by those lethal forces.
Now, there's a really rigorous scientific stance on this whole mystery that I absolutely love. It goes, the videos do not prove physics is broken, but if the objects truly moved exactly as reported, then they would challenge what we currently understand. Physics itself isn't broken, right? But our human understanding of aerodynamics, energy, and inertia, well, that might just be incomplete. It's a pretty humbling reminder of just how much we still have left to discover.
Section 4. Possible scientific explanations. Grounding the mystery in reality.
So to keep our feet on the ground here, experts are actively debating a few scientifically sound explanations. First up, secret human technology. Is it possible we're looking at highly classified, ultra-advanced military drone projects from the US or maybe a foreign adversary? For sure, tech kept in the dark can look basically like magic when it finally hits the public eye. Second is sensor effects. Could this just be a high-tech glitch? Weird camera angles, heat glare on an infrared lens, or tracking system errors can actually create incredibly convincing, yet totally misleading visual illusions. And the third option? Atmospheric phenomena. Think rare weather anomalies or light refractions that can confuse both advanced sensors and human pilots. Scientists are rigorously looking into all three of these right now to find a grounded terrestrial answer.
Section 5. Does this mean aliens? Interrogating the ultimate suspect.
All right, let's address the elephant in the room. There is currently no publicly confirmed scientific proof that these objects are extraterrestrial spacecraft. I know. But despite having incredibly reliable military observers, and despite having the most advanced sensors in the world tracking them, there is simply no hard scientific evidence proving it's aliens. As much as pop culture wants to jump straight to that sci-fi conclusion, the scientific method requires us to pump the brakes until we have undeniable proof. We've got to stick to what the data actually tells us, and right now it just tells us these objects are unidentified.
Section 6. The ultimate human mystery. Speculative tech and our place in the cosmos. So why does this topic captivate us so deeply? Well, because it forces us to think about some truly mind-bending concepts. We're talking gravity manipulation, warp drives, space-time distortion. Now, obviously, we do not have the engineering to build those things today, but here is the fascinating part. These are real, mathematical concepts discussed in theoretical physics. Watching these UAP videos completely ignites our imagination because it makes us wonder if maybe, just maybe, somewhere out there, someone has actually figured out how to make these wild theoretical concepts a practical reality.
So, the crucial point is this: are we alone? Is there technology out there vastly beyond our own? Could physics actually work in ways we just don't fully understand yet? When we see verified military footage of something so completely unexplained, it's not just about analyzing the shape of a blob on a radar screen. It hits on our absolute deepest, most profound human questions. It's the thrill of the complete unknown suddenly stepping right into our everyday reality.
I want to leave you all with one final thought today. Are there still mysteries in the universe we don't fully understand? The answer, unequivocally, is a massive yes. And honestly, that's a beautiful thing. The real value of these government UAP videos might not even be about proving whether extraterrestrials exist or not. Their true value is in sparking that intense, widespread curiosity that drives all of human science forward. They remind us to keep asking the hard questions, to keep looking up, and to keep exploring the unknown. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.
And that's just one tiny big question. Imagine what's next. Subscribe, and let's keep wondering.